Syria's revolution is being buried where it was born. Assad's forces gain ground in Daraa province, forcing 250,000 people to flee. Is it almost over for the opposition? I'm Imran Garta, and today's newsmaker is the battle for Daraa. They call it the cradle of the Syrian revolution. It was in Daraa province where a mass uprising sparked the 7-year war, which caused Bashar al Assad to lose control of his country. Now the region is the opposition's last stronghold in the south. A 2-week military offensive and a string of Russia-brokered deals have allowed the Syrian regime to take over most of the province. Now on the back foot, opposition forces are deeply divided over whether to accept a peace deal. So, if Daraa falls, could this spell the end for the revolution? Or will the rebels regroup and live to fight another day? Natalie Pahernan reports.
The Syrian regime's frontline is advancing through Daraa in southern Syria, one of the last rebel-held territories. State television has aired footage of people celebrating their arrival and the handover of towns back to the regime. But others feel this is a fight they need to flee. The region has come under constant fire with airstrikes from the regime and its Russian backers. It's considered the cradle of the Syrian revolution, and the rebels are still fighting in Daraa city. Lawrence Adam is an activist there.
أخي العزيز أنا لم أشاهد القصف أنا كنت تحت القصف لم أشاهد القصف ولكن أنا خرجت من تحت القصف أنا خرجت من عدة أبنية بسبب الغارات الروسية التي هي دقيقة الإصابة.
He says living conditions are becoming dire.
عدم توفر الأدوية الطبية، عدم توفر حليب الأطفال، عدم توفر المستلزمات الطبية للمرضى ذو الأمراض المزمنة كالسكري، الضغط، السرطان، مرضى الكبار في السن، كل هذه الأمور غير متوفرة. كوارث تحدث الآن على الشيك مع الأردن الشقيق وعلى الشيك مع الجولان المحتل.
The UN says more than 270,000 people have now been displaced in southwestern Syria. The region is a de-escalation zone as agreed last year by Russia, the United States and Jordan. It's meant to be an area of reduced warfare. But this video from the Syrian military shows rocket launchers and missiles being fired by its troops in June. A reminder for the people of Daraa that even under the cover of darkness, the regime is expanding its area of control. Damascus has been putting boots on the ground for this campaign, but political deals are made at the negotiating table. Jordan has been mediating talks between Syrian ally Russia and the rebels. The opposition may have to make a deal to avoid more bloodshed and a repeat of the sieges of eastern Ghouta and Homs last year. Under previous reconciliation deals with Bashar al Assad's regime, the rebels, minus their weapons, have been allowed to head to other areas. And while they still hold territory in the north in Idlib, their control is shrinking. So what will be left to defend of the Syria they've been fighting for since 2011? And will the civilian cost ever get too high to continue that battle?